elaborate on your film a little bit?
Yeah, All at Once. It's a TV pilot. It's about a Palestinian boy who is getting married to a Caucasian girl, and it's about how their families intertwine and the cultures sort of clash, and they kind of run into some scenarios that are, some are funny and some aren't so funny, and yeah, it's how we kind of maneuver through that.
So what are your expectations for the TV pilot?
It's doing amazing at festivals, and I'm just so happy to be a part of it because the director is a good friend that I've known for a while, Mustafa Ek, and he is just so talented. He has a great vision.
You guys have a lot going on. TV pilot.
Yeah, and this is the West Coast premiere. It's been showing other places. It's been doing well.
So what was your role?
I play the fiance, the girlfriend.
Okay. The girlfriend.
Stephanie.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Thank you. And my name's Melissa Kay, but I play Stephanie.
So how was it playing the fiance in this TV pilot? Any similarity to your off-screen characteristic as a woman versus being on screen and playing the fiance?
I love that question. That's a really good question. I felt like my mannerisms were similar. I try to keep the character as close to home as possible, but for some reason it was so hard to film it because my dad had just passed. So it was hard just to act like I have a dad, basically, you know. That was the most challenging part, but the cast made it so easy. The director, it was super fun to work off of that.
How long did it take for you to prepare for this role?
You know what? It was a couple of years ago. I read for it and got the part, and I already knew the lines, had the script, got everything ready, and then my dad got sick, and then he passed, and so I wouldn't have been able to do anything, but luckily we had already been working on the film, so 9 months later we ended up filming it.
So how did that turn out? After the casting, did you just instantly get the role, or was it just like after you got the role, then your dad just started kind of, going into his own?
Picked the cast, each person at a time. He had the father, and then I think just one person at a time, and it was sort of coming together. And my dad was starting to get sick in that same time period.
Can you elaborate on your relationship with your father? I mean, you guys' connection to your professional?
Oh my goodness, my dad was a part of everything. I grew up doing music with my dad.
Wow.
I have a rock band called Black Velvet.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And he was a part of all of it. I grew up doing music with him, and so that's why I'm doing more acting right now, because it's going to be hard to get back to music without him. So I'm healing a little bit first before I get back to music. But he was a part of everything, a part of all the music. He was my manager. We wrote songs together, and he played every instrument. He was brilliant, just brilliant.
He sounds like a really phenomenal guy.
Yeah.
It seems like he's, this inspiration that for a lot of professional actors, to have somebody that you can actually depend on, that, in your progress in your career, it means a lot.
Yeah, that is super important, having a stable kind of home base that you can fall back on.
Believe it or not, it's always a reward to have somebody in your life who really cares.
Yeah.
And, I think ultimately, because you play the fiance, what advice do you have for women who are intertwining certain relationships to those that you play in the TV pilot?
In this one, my character is very supportive of my fiance and loves him with all her heart. Yeah. And I feel like I'm sort of his comfort, sort of conflicting, and I'm the person that you can sort of confide in. Yeah, my character is very supportive, and they're going to get married, and she's committed, and she's all about, trying to make him feel comfortable and following our dreams together, and having our parents meet, and yeah.
No, that's lovely. Personal question. As an actress, what is your biggest accomplishment so far? I mean, I know there's probably a lot of things that you have done in your career, but since spanning the depth of this pilot, what is your biggest accomplishment?
That is an amazing question. I haven't reached it yet. I don't feel like that. But I'm very proud of everything I have done. I've done a lot of theater. I've won a Best Actress Award a couple times for the Inland Theater League. I've been featured as a principal character at Cannes Film Festival, and now here. And what else? I'm in a Left 4 Dead film that was very popular on YouTube. I didn't realize it was going to be so popular, and then it was.
Do you also get behind the screen as well? I mean, as far as direct and produce?
I have before. I love directing. I've done it quite a bit. I've done a little bit of everything actually. A little bit of crew, a little bit of casting, agent work, directing. I just love everything about the industry. But of course, acting is my favorite. Acting, performing. I love being on both ends.
No, that's beautiful. You know, I mean, I think because we're here at Dancing with Films, it just kind of initiates a lot of what creates the atmosphere for a lot of professional directors, writers, producers here with their independent films.
Oh, definitely. It really does. It's so inspiring and uplifting, and I'm around all these creative people, and it really puts you in that you know, I'm just motivated now to do, you know, work on more stuff.
I agree.
Yeah, it's good to be around like-minded people.
Oh, I definitely agree.
That's what it comes down to, really, because you have to have a good circle of people around you and meet new people all the time and
Yes.
feed off their energy.
You know, I definitely agree. You know, having good energy means a lot. You know, I mean, preferably to sustain a good performance, you gotta have a good energy. Because if you don't have good energy, you'll go flat. And if you go flat and there's nothing to pick you up, oh, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you're not going to give the performance that you intend to give.
Right.
But, you know, there's a lot of people who progress through it and fight through it and, you know, do really well. But, you know, I mean, at this stage and point in your career, what are you looking forward to the most?
That's a great question. You know what? I think not being as stressed and worried about what does come
I
next.
definitely like that because I mean I think that's kind of exclusive. You know, I think that's very opportunistic. Same creativity. That means your locale has a lot of responsibility to the entertainment industry. Because I know in this community, right? The independent film community here in Los Angeles, in Hollywood, there's probably at least 4 or 5 marquee schools that constantly have independent films.
Right.
But because we're in Hollywood, there's all these major distribution companies and studios that are always filming.
Right.
Now, what is that experience like? Because I know there's a lot of people seeing the lights and, you know, all these production companies and, you know nothing about it.
Right. And I went to USC where I did end up meeting a lot of people there. Thank you.
Go Trojans!
Yay! Fight on! Right. Yeah, I met a lot
Did I
of
do
people
that right?
there.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fight
All
on.
right.
My sparkly hands with the. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to USC. That did help with, you know, just meeting people, and because you end up working with people that you've met before, and that's sort of how it works. Really, it's sort of rare when you go on an audition and where you don't know anybody and they just handpick you. It does happen,
Well, I mean,
but it's good to meet people along the way.
Southern California is a huge area. You know, it takes up practically from what?
Diego.
Yeah, all the way from San Diego all the way up to like Bakersfield.
Right, Bakersfield. That's what I was thinking of. Like, what is it called? Yeah. You just meet people along the way, and when you kind of like I said before, when you have, I think I did, when you kind of put out good energy, it finds you.
No, I agree.
People kind of flock together who are similar. Yeah, things just fall into place.
Before I forget, what's the name of the film? One more time.
All at once.
All at Once.
All at once. I'm Melissa K.
Melissa
the letter
K.
K. Yeah, Melissa
So,
K. All at once.
All at Once.
By Mustafa X.
Did I ask you already? How did you guys come to creating the title?
That's a great question. Mustafa, it was actually originally called kanafa. It's a dish, a Middle Eastern dessert. And then he ended up changing it to All at Once because in the pilot, everything kind of happens all at once, and it's sort of all falling apart, everything all
You
at
know,
once.
it's funny that you say because I'm like thinking, I'm like all at once. I'm like, it sounds like a package, you know?
Aye.
I mean, because I know independently as a director, as a writer, as a producer myself, I know if I had to do everything all at once, I would kind of initiate, you know, this response to, you know, having a package. That if I could produce the best possible package, I mean, I just feel like that would be deliberate to be all at once. But, you know, since it's the title of the pilot, you know, it's kind of, you know, distributing how to have such a strong cast that it's something there. You know, I mean, it's very motivating because as I've been talking to you, you know, I feel like there's so much, you know, kind of building this momentum to create this expectancy of what I want to see.
Yeah, that's a good point about momentum. It is momentum. Yeah. Uh-oh.
Well, I'm gonna let you go. It was definitely great talking to you.
So great talking to you too.
Thank you.
So much.